shaped by your worldview. That may encompass your environment, social status, and family, among other factors. My character was influenced mainly by my parents, my pets, and my hometown. Everyone knows that your parents have a direct impact on who you come to be, but not everyone realizes it until they've already grown up. Like for me, the other day I was driving to the store and I heard a song on the radio that I hadn't heard in a long time. At that moment, I remember driving down the highway with my father. Well, I was asking him how long it takes for us to drive a mile. He told me that it would take 60 seconds. And I realized that ever since that moment, I've used that exact measurement every time I get into a car. Now, that may be a seemingly unimportant example, but it goes to show how small memories of the sort really show how your parents have influenced you throughout your entire life. I have grown up knowing that my pets were not just members of my family, not just dogs and cats, but true friends. Now, I truly believe that my pets have influenced me just as much as my friends and family, which may sound a little weird to some people, because it is. My first dog, Jake, was an enormous Labrador Retriever. He was so big that when I was 5, I could still easily ride him like a horse. But when I was first born, he cared for me like I was his own child. Whenever I would lay in my cradle, he would lay right next to me on my parents' bed, and he would put his paws in, and he was ready to protect me at all costs. Jake also taught me patience. When I was little, my favorite thing to do was to put my toilet seat, my little training toilet seat, around his head. And he would walk around and we would take pictures, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. Now, there's no way that he truly loved that or even probably liked it in the slightest, but he tolerated it because he loved me. My second dog, Liberty, was also a Labrador Retriever. And when I was little, I loved to read, but I hated to read out loud. In second grade, when we would have our reading time, I would always read to myself, and my teacher would be like, "Come on, you need to read out loud," and I would be like, "No, I don't like it." And one night, my mother found me in my bed with Liberty, reading out loud. And she continued to find me doing this, and eventually I learned to love to read. I continue to say that my dog taught me how to read. But it's these small memories and things that they've done, and the love and the care that they've showed me, that has affected how I try to treat others. So it's probably weird to say that my pets have influenced me as much as my parents, but they truly have, because they've taught me how to care for people and how to be patient with other people, which I've always found very hard to do. I grew up in a small town in the middle of Kansas, very similar to Lubbock. There I made my lifelong friends. I began my love for learning. I learned my manners. And that love for learning came from my school. My schools were very diverse. And through that, I learned about a lot of other languages and cultures. Unlike the schools that I've gone to in Texas, which are 99% white. That early exposure to other cultures when I was younger led to a future love of anthropology, which, if you didn't know, is the study of humans. Now, with that early love and exposure, I learned to accept other cultures, learned to love other cultures, and gave me a real interest in Egyptology and learning about the past. Now, my hometown also fueled my love of animals. When I was smaller, I used to study animal flashcards and read animal encyclopedias, create mini zoos with my plastic toys, and I would spend hours and hours playing Zoo Tycoon on my computer. It took me a really long time to figure out that there were 2 genders in the game and that you could breed animals, and when I finally figured that out, that was the greatest thing ever. When I was little, my mother would take me to these summer classes that were at my local zoo. And I absolutely loved them, and they fueled my love for animals even more. And that love continued when I was in middle and high school, and I went to go volunteer at that zoo and care for those same animals. That place taught me the responsibility and the leadership skills that I use every day. Your personality is shaped by your interpretation of the world. And your worldview is shaped by your experiences that your family, friends, and community help to mold. And may be weird or funny or even sad, but your experiences and memories are important and need to be appreciated because without them, you wouldn't be you.